Bitcoin and Solana, extremely boring right now, but we're finally starting to see early signs of a breakout. As always, let's dive into the news, then we'll talk about the charts. Starting off with the news for Solana. On May the 12th, Solana generated more total economic value than Ethereum in a single day for the first time in history. This is one of the reasons why Solana is massively outperforming ETH in this cycle. Ore supply. In our previous video, we updated the V2 tokenomics and talked about how ore is still going to have an issuance of 1 ore per minute. For full context, this is exactly where we are on the inflation curve for ore. In other news, Robinhood launches Solana staking in the EU, offering roughly 5% APY. Two things about this. Number one, stake your Solana in a Phantom or a Solflare wallet and you can get a much better APY, 7.5 or 8%. Number two, don't use Robinhood in general. They've halted trading of many different stocks many times. Do not trust them. In addition to Robinhood, the Nasdaq also paused trading for GME yesterday. The whole GME resurgence came when Twitter account The Roaring Kitty posted a new cryptic video. This was basically the guy that was behind this and the previous GME short squeeze. He's been absent from Twitter for the past 3 years and he literally clocked in within the past 2 days, and this is what has driven the euphoria for GameStop to perform another massive short squeeze. Now, I don't really know or care about the stock market ticker, but GME on Solana went up 4,500%. That's ridiculous. If you managed to get in early on this, congratulations. I am personally just going to be sitting on the sidelines for this one. A good rule of thumb for myself is if you missed out on this early stage of the rally, like myself, and you're looking at this all the way up here, it's probably best to just leave it and find the next one. Let's now move on to the Bitcoin news. Pension fund manager of the state of Wisconsin has recently disclosed that it's got $162 million worth of a Bitcoin allocation. That's just one fund. There are thousands of pension funds in the US managing over $27 trillion worth of assets. If they all decide that they need $150, $160 million worth of Bitcoin, then the price is going to have to adjust higher. Guys, that's pretty much all the news that's happened in the past, 5 days since my last video. There's not too much to update. US interest rates are still at super elevated levels, 5.5% for the past year. CPI came in today at 3.4% year over year. It's basically been making no headway for the past year whatsoever. This is why rates are still high and they're unlikely to cut them until the election cycle. Because of that, we're still seeing global net liquidity at these kind of boring levels. But as we've been discussing on the channel, this is probably the nicest time to be in on the cycle because in terms of global liquidity, we haven't even seen a major inflow yet. We're at that boring stage of the cycle where even mainstream media is not interested whatsoever. Normies are not interested in cryptocurrency at this moment in time. That's the best time to be in, so you can make these normies your exit liquidity. And while retail's not in, we've got these ETFs, we've got these pension funds, we've got digital asset management companies such as Franklin Templeton who own $1.5 trillion worth of assets. They're looking at Bitcoin. They're looking at Solana. Grayscale's charging like a 600-700% premium on Solana products. This boring sideways chop that we're witnessing is the perfect time to position yourself for the upcoming run. So let's quickly update the charts. Once again, this is where we are. Bitcoin's been trending sideways for the past 12 weeks right now. We're floating around the previous all-time high. But in my opinion, the monthly time frame looks really good. You can see we've performed a monthly candle body close on these previous all-time high levels, and it looks like we're pushing back up starting off the week quite nice. On the daily time frame, look at this. We originally broke out of the falling wedge. We came back for a retest and it looks like we're pushing back up. Judging by how we slipped underneath this, it's looking like drawing to the candle body closes is probably more appropriate, and then you can see this looks a lot nicer right now for a clear breakout and retest. The price target of this falling wedge is all the way up at, once again, 73,800 for BTC. And we've started off the week strong. We retested the trend line over the weekend, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've been pushing up. We're still in the exact same bull flag for Bitcoin. We're still looking at all of these patterns the exact same, but both Bitcoin and Solana are now forming inverse head and shoulders on the daily time frame. If we're looking at Bitcoin and we take a measured move of where the breakout would be, you can see that Bitcoin could potentially be heading up to a new all-time high of $76,000. Like I said, with how we've started the first half of the week, it's looking like Bitcoin does want to break up to the upside. For Solana as well, we're seeing a very similar inverse head and shoulders, and we're pushing up very strong right now. If If we take the measured move breakout of the inverse head and shoulders on Solana, you could potentially see Solana coming up to a new yearly high of $217. You can also see this is quite cyclical. We previously discussed this type of pattern before, where Solana has a bottom of the range, it dips beneath it, and then that marks the low and we head back up. You can see in the previous instance we were trading within a very similar range. We went euphoric, hit a high, we came down for a correction, established a range, dip beneath the range right over here, and then what do you know, we started to form over here a inverse head and shoulders. Once we broke out, retested, we headed up to a new yearly high. So in my opinion, this is probably what Solana's going to be doing very, very soon, heading up to a new yearly high, just like Bitcoin will. Besides that, guys, there's not an awful lot to update. We're still, like I've been saying, trending sideways in that same range in all of the same patterns that we've been talking about on the channel for the past couple of weeks right now. Be patient, don't jeet your coins for a discount, and patience will be rewarded when we take our next leg up in the cycle. For today, guys, that's all I've got. Hopefully in the next video, we see some more developments on these charts and we're talking about breakouts of patterns instead of just the same accumulation. But it's looking like these are the early signs of a breakout in my opinion. And I really think this week we're going to start breaking up much, much higher. 76,000 for Bitcoin right around the corner, and around $220 for Solana right around the corner. As always, remember the actionables. When Bitcoin and Solana do start going parabolic and the alt season happens, people who have pre-ordered the Solana Chapter 2 mobile, they're just going to get plastered with airdrops every single week. So if you haven't already, get yourself a Solana Chapter 2 mobile. If you don't have the money to pre-order the Solana Chapter 2 mobile, then do something free. Start mining with Get Grass, earn points, convert them into Sol over on Whales Market, claim free popular NFTs on places like Drip. Solana is one of the most generous blockchains out there. If you've been using Magic Eden, if you've been using Dupe, if you've been using Tensor, if you've pre-ordered a Solana Chapter 2 mobile, if you've been mining with Get Grass, then you have been rewarded, and in the future you'll continue to get rewarded. When times are boring, double down on your high conviction bags, interact with the blockchain, and when that next leg to the upside comes, and it will come very, very soon, you'll be the one who reaps the most rewards. Today, that's all I've got. If you enjoyed, smash like on the way out. See you in the next one. Peace.